A new research article published says that your ovarian reserve markers are not predictive of your ability to conceive and have a child in the future. So if you've got low AMH, I want you to listen to this, and I'm going to read it straight from the data that was published. It says, based on data from more than 300 participants, the findings show no difference in reproductive potential between women with normal and diminished ovarian reserve as measured by, and here is the kicker, measured by the markers that you all pay so much attention to, levels of AMH, FSH, and inhibin B. That's right. For example, look at this member of my Hope Coaching Program. She says, big fertility win, actually huge for me. I want to share here with all the ladies struggling with AMH, it is possible. Don't let clinics and doctors convince you that it's not possible. Please, these are not my words. These are her words. Mine was ultra low at 0.05, and after all work I did yesterday, this is my result, 0.58. It took time, like 10 months. It wasn't an overnight journey, and I'm even expecting it to continue to go up beyond that. And it will go. I still haven't done her treatments and so forth, other treatments, and she's just so excited for her ability to conceive. So your ability to conceive is possible, but it's not or shouldn't only be measured by your AMH and FSH levels. So let me dive deeper into this right now. And now that I have your attention, I want you to keep watching so I can expand on this and tell you what your next steps should be. Hi, my name is Dr. Marc Sklar, also known as the Fertility Expert, and I've been helping couples for close to 20 years through my online coaching programs and my clinic here in San Diego. And I love to make changes with hormones, and I want to see these changes in all of you, and that's why we're talking about AMH and FSH today. Okay, so let's dive into this topic even more now. And I'm super excited about this because this is something that I've been saying over and over. You all know, if you've been watching my channel and my videos for any length of time, I've always told you that AMH and FSH are just numbers. That I'm not saying that we shouldn't pay attention to them, but you shouldn't base all your fertility and all your hopes on these numbers. And this research study does exactly that. It shows exactly what I've been saying. So let's talk a little bit more about the real numbers before we go beyond that. What does the research say? Well, first and foremost, this information was published in January of 2023 and was published by Fertility and Sterility, which is a journal put out by the American Society of Reproductive Medicine. That's right. That's the biggest reproductive medicine association in the United States and potentially internationally. We're going to put the link to the research article down below, into the articles that talk about this down below. So if you want to look at it, you can. Okay. But the first thing is that it says is that women with biomarkers suggesting, so biomarkers meaning the lab test or hormone test that you've had done, suggesting a diminished ovarian reserve do not have any reduced level of future fertility. I want to repeat that again for all of you. Do not have any reduced level of future fertility. According to this study, to analyze the accuracy of the so-called fertility test, so FSH and AMH, in predicting a woman's later chance of infertility, her ability to conceive, and her likelihood of achieving a live birth. So that's why these fertility clinics use these tests. They're using these tests to do two things. One, to tell you if you have a chance of being able to conceive, and two, what they're going to do with the medications that they want to prescribe for you in an IVF cycle. And I'm not going to talk about that second one. I'm really going to focus on the first one here. And that's what this research article is all about. It's focusing on those labs. And it basically said, as you heard, that they do not mean that you cannot conceive in the future and have a live birth. Two other key points in the article is that results showed that those with diminished ovarian reserve did not have a statistically significant lower risk of future live birth. So they're analyzing it through statistics, and that's important for us when we're doing research. Then women with normal ovarian reserve and inhibin B levels were similarly not associated with any probability of a future live birth. This was after adjusting for age at which blood was taken, race, obesity, use of hormone contraception, so birth control, and year of enrollment in the original study. That's huge. Additionally, they say the authors write that a major strength of their analysis is that the results are applicable to all women at risk of reproductive aging, and they say those aged between 30 and 44. So this is really big. Now, they do acknowledge that this is just a first study and that they do need more information and more research to be able to definitively say this in the future, which will come, because when these sorts of studies get published, the next thing that happens is we do it again to see if this is factual. But this is huge for all of you. And it's huge because it gives you the opportunity to de-stress, to not put so much weight into these hormones and these labs and these numbers. So then the logical question would be, or at least the logical question I would ask is, well, so does this mean that we shouldn't be doing any of these labs? Do they have any value whatsoever? And my answer to that is no. I still think that the labs have value and that they are important to still do. But they are just one piece of the bigger puzzle, and they give you information. All your fertility dreams and hopes and desires shouldn't be based on these numbers alone. Additionally, how often I say to all of you that they shouldn't also be based just on your age, right? So these numbers are numbers, and they are other factors or variables that need to be considered in the bigger picture of your fertility. Additionally, when we do these labs, and I still think that they're important to be done because they give us a benchmark of where we're at, and they also tell us something more, which is our body is talking to us. Our body is telling us something. And when our hormones are off, that means our body is saying, hey, hello, knock, knock, over here, I need help to help you do what you want to do. So this information should be knowledge for you to start to make change. That's right. And the other thing it does is it should spark another question is, well, why are these numbers off? Why is my AMH low, or why is my FSH high? What does this mean? And what is my body trying to tell me? And that really should be the next question, and is probably the more important question that you should be asking. So once we ask that question, that means we want real answers. And that is what you often hear me say, is that we need to find the root cause. So that's really what those numbers, those hormones, should be saying to you is, what is really wrong? And how am I going to address those variables, those factors? That is really what it should be asking you to do, right? We shouldn't be scared. We shouldn't lose our hope. We should take this as motivation that, yes, okay, now I have some information. Now I can do something about it. What am I going to do about it? And how am I going to improve these numbers and change it so that I can get the results that I'm looking for? The other thing it should give you is hope. That's right. Why do I think that it should give you hope? Well, I think it should give you hope because all too often that hope is stripped away from you. It's taken away because someone you spoke to or the doctors you spoke to said your AMH is too low, it's not going to happen, or your FSH is too high, it's not going to happen. And they tear apart the hope and the belief that you have in yourself and your ability to conceive. And I want that to be restored. And I want you to believe in yourself and have the hope restored that you can conceive, because this tells you that those numbers are just numbers and they should give you information, but they do not mean that you cannot conceive or that you will not have your own children. So that's why I think it should give you hope. It should make you feel optimistic that something can be done and you can do it and you can achieve those goals. Now, just last week on one of my videos, there was a fertility doctor who commented on my video saying that I need to stop giving you all hope, that I'm giving you false hope, that you can't conceive, that it's not realistic. And I laugh at that comment. I don't think that that's real. Not only that, do I not think that he should not have been posting that. You all have that power and ability, and I've seen it over and over again. So don't let somebody like him smash you down and make you believe that it can't happen. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't need help. It doesn't mean that sometimes you don't need IVF or IUI. We all need help. We often need the right support to get us the results that we do, and many of us do need IVF and IUI. But regardless of the path you choose and the path you go down, I want you to stay positive and optimistic and hopeful in your ability to achieve your end goal, because it is possible. And there's nothing good that comes out of losing your hope and determination. If we base everything on fear and negativity, then we're in the wrong world. Our world needs to be filled with positive focus, with optimism and hope that we can accomplish what we want with the right support and the right path. So where do you go from here? Well, first, I do encourage you to read this information on your own. Use the links in the description to read the research. Don't just trust me for it. Read it on your own. I'm not making this up, but I want you to read it so that you understand what it says for yourself. Second, we all need help to make improvements and changes in our AMH and our FSH and all of our hormone levels and our health and reproductive function. And if you want my help and my team's support to help you reach those goals like so many women that we've helped, then I want to invite you to join my Hope Fertility Coaching Program. If you've had enough, you're ready for support, and you're ready to move forward and achieve these results that you desire and dream of, then use the link in the description below to apply to join my Hope Fertility Program. All you need is to click on it, and we can help you to reach those goals. Was this research cool? Was it enlightening? I think it was, but I want to hear from all of you. Comment below and let me know. What did you think about it? And more importantly, did it spark any questions for you? If so, leave those questions below as well. And if you have questions about your fertility, drop those down there as well, and I'll do my best to answer those in this video or in a future video. All right, everyone, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber to my YouTube channel, hit that bell to subscribe and get notified when I put out a new video for all of you. And until the next video, stay fertile.